Hey, I'm Jesse Hunt with Unofficial. We're a web design and digital marketing agency located in downtown Memphis. Since 2002, I've been helping Mid-South businesses just like yours improve their websites and find more customers on the internet. Today, I'm going to perform a video website audit on your website that'll show you some areas for improvement that might be hurting your business. The entire audit will take 15 to 20 minutes and should leave you substantially more informed about what's working and what's not working so well on your website. I hope you'll find the audit informative and that you'll keep me in mind if you ever need some help working on your existing website or building a new one. Thanks a lot for watching. Let's get started.
Hey Larry, so as you can see, we're here on the homepage of your website, www.officescapesmemphis.com. What I want to do here is take a few minutes, scroll through your website, click on some of the pages, look at some of the content you've got here. I'll just provide some feedback on the things that I see as I go through your website. Might be able to point out some things you're doing right, maybe some things that could use improvement. From there, we'll click over to Google and look at some tools that they provide us and look at some information that they tell us about your website. And then we'll wrap up by coming back and using some software that I've got here on my computer to get a better understanding of what's happening behind the scenes on your website. So when I land on your website here, the first thing I notice is this picture that rotates through various pictures of, I guess, of offices that you guys have sold the furniture for, designed, or what have you. So I think that looks pretty nice. I noticed also these buttons up here, the yellow contract furniture, interior design, dealer services, modular construction. Those buttons caught my attention pretty quick. So I'd say immediately my eyes went here and then my eyes kind of moved up here. Unfortunately, I think your logo kind of faded into the background. I didn't notice your logo very much, and I think maybe that's a problem. I would expect that you probably want people to notice your logo when they're on your website, just for brand recognition and whatnot. As I scroll through here, I see you've got some text down here. You don't have a whole lot of text on the homepage. Google really likes websites with lots of text, so I would say it might be worthwhile to put some additional text here on the homepage, maybe even some additional pictures to kind of break it up so you don't just hit people with 500 words of text right off the bat on the homepage. But adding more text in here might help you to get better search engine results. As I click through, I'm clicking on the About Us page here. All right, so the first thing I notice when that happens, if we look up here at the address bar, when we went to the About Us page, I went to www.officescapesmemphis.com/page_ID =62. I can tell that this is a WordPress website. Partly, when I say WordPress, I'm not sure if you're aware that your website uses WordPress or not. WordPress is the software that runs behind the scenes that makes your website, it gives you the ability to log in and update the website and things like that. WordPress is really good software. I really like it. I noticed that from a couple things. One, this is formatting of this address kind of clued me in, but also I've got a little tool installed over here on my browser that tells me that it's WordPress. You're running version 4.4.2, which is the current version, so that's definitely a good thing. You definitely want to keep it up to date. If WordPress gets out of date, it can become vulnerable to hackers and things like that. But at any rate, what I was heading to here is this $page_ID =62 is not very descriptive. So for humans, that's it's not real easy to be able to remember the address to a page or even write down the address to come back to this page. So that's a little difficult. The other thing is Google doesn't particularly love addresses that have question marks and equal signs in them. Google prefers website addresses that have keywords in them. And WordPress gives you the ability to really easily change the address structure on your website. So what I'm suggesting here is not a difficult thing to do, but with some fairly simple changes, you could change the address structure for these pages to make the page names more descriptive in your website addresses, and improve your search engine rankings. So that would probably be something worth considering. Everything else here on this page looks pretty good to me. This strikes me as about what I would expect on an About Us page. some basic bio information about your company, a map, and contact form. So I think that looks pretty good. I click over to contract furniture. I actually visited this website, this particular page on your website earlier, and I guess I find this page to be a little bit much. It's I don't know. I guess I'd have to discuss it with you and have a better understanding of how you expect people to use this page. But this long list of names here, for furniture manufacturers, just seems not very useful. If you click on them and it carries you over to the manufacturer's website, I guess maybe there's two problems there. The first one is that unless you're intimately familiar with HBR, this doesn't tell me much about it. So I don't know if I'm going to like the furniture at the HBR website or not. And I just feel like there's an awful lot of choices here and not enough description to tell me the difference between HBR's lounge furniture and Christopher Guy's lounge furniture. So unless your target audience is interior designers or something who are already pretty intimately familiar with these, this doesn't seem like it would be a terribly useful page, because I just don't think people are going to click through all these links in order to find exactly what they're looking for. Next up here, interior design. One more thing on this page. The other thing that concerns me here, I don't know what your arrangement with these companies are, but if, for example, Abco here has other dealers that also service the Memphis market, then it seems like referring people over to their website is really a potential risk. So you've got a visitor on your website. Because they're on your website, you can pretty safely assume that they're a prospect for what you're selling. But now you refer them over to the Abco website, for example, and maybe they have the ability from here to find another dealer. I don't see that on this particular website, but I bet if we click through some of these, we would find some where they have a dealer finder. Here's a broken link. I clicked on the all seating link here, and it goes to a not found page. So this page, I think, needs some work to make sure that everything works properly and all that good stuff. But I'm a little bit concerned about referring your visitors to a manufacturer's website who then may give people the ability to find one of your competitors instead of you. So that worries me a bit. All right, on to interior design. We were there a minute ago. Yeah, this page looks okay. I think when I think of interior design, my sister is actually an interior designer and she sells fabric now, but used to sell office furniture as well, and in the Atlanta market. And when I think of her work in interior design, I think of really nice drawings and CAD drawings and cool office layouts, and this page doesn't reflect that to me. It doesn't reflect what I might expect if I hired you to do interior design for my office. So this page might, without reading all the text, could use a little bit of imagery. They say an image is worth 1,000 words, and I think that's really true. Having good images that describe what you're talking about can go a long way on the internet. People are impatient. They don't want to read all this text. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to get rid of the text. Google likes the text, so you need the text in order to get Google rankings. But I think some pictures can go a long way for making the website more useful to people. Dealer services. Okay, I like the way that you broke up the pages with the little pictures here. I like that. It's a nice break and makes the website easier to consume kind of in bite-sized chunks. So I like this page. Modular construction. Again, I think just having some more pictures that better illustrates what you're talking about here. So maybe if you keep your header like this, and then maybe you've got some text, and then maybe there's some photo gallery down here below it that shows samples of modular construction projects that you've done in the past, would just help to illustrate what you're talking about. These pages it's pretty consistent from page to page, and I think so is my feedback. Most of my recommendations hold true from one page to the next. I'm going to go back to your home page real quick, and then open this tab here. So what I've done here, I just Googled the name of your business. I searched Office Scapes Memphis. Basically what I wanted to see was, I wanted to ensure that you've got a Google local listing here. That's this listing right here on the right that's got the map above it and all that good stuff. So it's good that you've got a Google local listing. I notice here that it says suggest an edit or own this business. What that tells me is that nobody's ever claimed this listing. You can claim a listing with Google and then go in and optimize that listing and make improvements to it and make sure that it's perfectly accurate with the information that's on your website. Google actually refers to that information. There's an acronym for it. It's NAP, N-A-P. It stands for name, address, and phone number. Google wants to see that your contact information, your name, address, and phone number is perfectly consistent across all pages of your website, and then also across their Google local listing, and finally across the internet. So all the Yellow Pages directories and different websites that include your name and address and phone number, contact information. You want that information to match up from site to site, and by having it match up, Google views that as an indication of authority, an indication of trustworthiness, I guess you'd say. And so I do like that on every page of your website down here in the footer, you've got your address and you've got your phone number and fax number. I would like to see your phone number in the header of every page of the website. I think if your customers are looking to get in touch with you, it's really beneficial to make it very easy for them to find that information without having to look around for it. So I'd recommend adding that. But what I want to do is compare now your website information to the information that we saw on the Google listing. So here you've got your name as Office Scapes, although this is an image, not text. Because I can drag it around like that, it tells me that it's an image file. You really want to have your business name on the website, probably right here next to your address information. So here you refer to your business as Office Scapes. Google refers to you as Office Scapes Inc. And I'm not sure. Up here in if you look at the tab at the top of my browser window, it says Office Scapes Memphis. So there's some inconsistency there. One place it's Office Scapes Memphis, another place it's Office Scapes, and then in another place it's Office Scapes Inc. I would definitely recommend getting consistent about how you refer to your business on your website and across the internet. If Office Scapes Inc. is not how you want to refer to it, then claim this listing and fix that to make it where it's consistent with the rest of your website. If you need some help with that, I'd be glad to help. Then down here, let's see, footer of your website, 8390 Wolf Lake Drive, they spelled that DR, Suite 101, Bartlett, Tennessee, 38133. So let's look over here. 8390 Wolf Lake Drive, also use DR. Number 101. So again, here's another inconsistency. On your website, it's Suite, S-U-I-T-E 101, and then here on your Google listing, it's number 101. I know that seems really minor and nitpicky, but I'm telling you, Google looks at the little things like that and says that's an inconsistency. Improving those consistencies from one place to the next will help to improve your Google rankings, and it's such an easy fix. I mean, it's just a matter of going back to your website, taking out Suite and adding the pound sign. Really easy fix that can help to improve your search engine rankings. Here I see your phone number is 385-8000, and here 385-8000. So that looks good. Hours open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Gosh, is that right? Are you really open till 11 p.m.? That seems, I don't see your hours on your website, so I can't compare to make sure that that's right. But if you're not really open from 7 till 11, I'd recommend claiming this listing and getting that fixed as well. The last thing I'm going to talk about here on this listing, you're listed here as an office supply store. Based on what I'm seeing on your website, there's nothing that really tells me that you're an office supply store. I gather that you're, office furniture. I'm not sure how Google refers to that in their categories, but not being in the proper category here can definitely impact your ability to show up in the search results when people are searching for what you do for office furniture or what have you. So I really think you need to claim this listing and you need to make some changes to it. I can help you with that if you don't know how to do it or if you need some assistance, but doing that will go a long way to helping you get more traffic from Google. All right, next thing I've got here, this is a tool provided by Google to website developers. It's called the Mobile Friendly Test. And as you can see, I've already searched your website here, www.officescapesmemphis.com. Now, Google's looking to see that websites are mobile friendly for a few reasons. One, a substantial amount of the internet is using mobile devices now, iPads, iPhones, Android devices. If your website's not mobile friendly, you're really not providing an ideal experience to the people that come to your website. Google wants to see that you're providing a great experience to the people that they're referring. So back in April of 2015, Google actually said, you know what, we're going to start showing preference to websites that are mobile friendly, particularly when people are searching from a mobile device. So as you can see here, Google says your website is not mobile friendly, and that can definitely be hurting you in the search results. They provide some input on why your website's not mobile friendly. Your text is too small to read. Your links are too close together. In other words, it's too easy to accidentally click on the wrong button when you're on a mobile device. And your mobile viewport's not set, which basically means your website hasn't specified the proper formatting based on a mobile screen size. These are things I'd definitely consider fixing if I were you. The websites that I manage, I'm seeing anywhere from 30% to 90% of the visitors on those websites that are using mobile devices now. So by not having a mobile optimized website, you're really missing the boat there. I think you could improve your Google rankings and improve the experience that people have when they use your website by improving the mobile friendliness of your website. Okay, next thing I did here, I tried to put myself in the shoes of one of your potential customers. I said, okay, if I was looking to buy some office furniture, I needed some office chairs, I needed, I don't know, some desks and credenzas, or for that matter, if I needed an interior designer to come in and do my entire office design and sell me all the furniture that I need in order to deck out my office, what would I type into Google? I just came up with a couple key phrases. I wanted to see how you ranked for those results. So the first one I did was Memphis office furniture. And first thing we see here, we see these 3 listings at the top of the page, and they got the little ad icon. Now these people are paying to be here at the top 3 spots. The more you pay, the higher you rank here. It's a little more complicated than that, but to keep things simple, we'll explain it that way. So if you want to rank in these spots, I can certainly give you some pointers on how to get that set up. But for the sake of this discussion, we're going to ignore these rankings for right now. Now down here, this is what we call a local listing or a map listing. You show up in these map results by going back to that listing we looked at on your Google local listing a minute ago, having your business in the right category, having your name, address, and phone number consistent from your website to Google local to all the other websites across the internet, having good reviews on the internet helps to rank here. So things like that really play a big factor in showing up in these local results. As you can see, you're not showing up in any of the 3 local results here on this page. As we scroll down below the local results, what we see here, we call these organic results. You show up in the organic results by having a website that's built well, that's got the right keywords in the right places, the right number of times, by having other websites link back to your website, especially if they link to you using your keywords as the link text, and then by having a website that's got some age on it. So as your website gets older or your domain name gets older, Google views that as a trust factor and will reward you for that in the search results. So as we scroll down through these listings, we see Office Furniture Factory, WPFern.com, Great American Home Store, Royal Furniture. Here's a Yellow Pages listing, another Yellow Pages listing, MBI, Furniture Finders, that seems like it's probably a directory, Office Interiors Memphis, Yuletide Office Products. So it looks like there's some directories here. There's some furniture stores that I would guess are probably not really competitors, like Royal Furniture and Great American Home Store. But then it looks like there are probably some real competitors here. I'm guessing this MBI and Office Interiors. Those folks, at least in my perception, are actual competitors. The fact that you're not showing up here indicates a missed opportunity to me. I think with some work on your website and some work on your search engine optimization, you could probably rank for this keyword and be able to get more visitors coming to your website. Now, obviously, more visitors to your website equals more contacts, more leads coming in through your website. More leads through the website equals more sales. More sales equals better return on investment. So I think improving your search engine rankings, if I were in your shoes, would probably be something I would be looking at. Next, one more keyword that I did here. I did Memphis commercial furniture. I could go on for days. I'm sure there are tons of keywords that people would search out when they're looking for you, and I think we'd need to do a little more research and have some conversations in order to fully do the accurate research. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what the search engine scene looked like. So for this one, Memphis commercial furniture, again, there's one paid advertisement up here. Below that, Spaces Group, Office Furniture Factory, Office Interiors of Memphis. Here's a business journal story. Got a couple YouTube videos here. Stash Home, MBI, ContractFurniture.com, and Contract Furniture Alliance. Again, not showing up at all on the first page. So again, I think probably a missed opportunity there. Probably an opportunity to get you more business. I'm gonna go type in your website address here real quick, just so I can get it to pull up your search results, so that I can describe a couple other things here in a minute. All right, I'm gonna go back to your website real quick. We're gonna look at two more tools and then we'll wrap this up. The first thing I wanna look at from your home page, I've got this little tool installed here on my browser. This is called the Google Tag Assistant. Basically what this does is it scans your website and looks for any Google tags that might be in the code. As you can see, it shows the result of tag analysis 0 in total. So you don't have any Google tags on your website. Specifically, I was hoping to find a tag called Google Analytics. What Google Analytics does, it monitors the traffic that's coming to your website. It tells you how many visitors you're getting, where those visitors are coming from. So are they coming from some kind of industry association website? Are they coming from the Better Business Bureau? Are they coming from Facebook or Google? And then where do those visitors go once they're on your website? Do they land on your home page and immediately bail and go to some other competitor's website? Or do they land on your home page and then click through and look at some of your products and services and ultimately fill out a contact form, for example, to get in touch with you? So what Google Analytics does is it really helps you to track how well your website is performing as a marketing tool for your business, and also how it's doing at generating a return on investment for your business. So Google Analytics is a free tool. It's pretty easy to install. You probably need somebody with a little bit of website expertise in order to do it, but it's free software. Highly recommended. It'll give you a much better understanding of how well your website's working for your business. All right, one more thing. This is another tool that I've got installed here in my browser. This is called SEO Quake, and we're looking at the Page SEO Audit. So Page Search Engine Optimization Audit. Basically, this scans the code on your website and tells us kind of how your website's been optimized for the search engines, and basically just saves me from having to dig through the code and gives me a nice, concise way to be able to explain it to you here. So the first thing I want to look at is your title. And we talked a little bit about title earlier. Up here at the top of my browser, these tabs, you'll notice right here it says Office Scapes Memphis. That's where a web browser displays your title tag. If we come to your search engine listing over here, well, darn it, hang on. Office Scapes Memphis. There we go. All right, so if we come back to the Google result, you can see right here at the top of your search engine listing, it says Office Scapes Memphis. This is where Google puts a title tag. So in my opinion, the title tag is the most important place on your website to have your keywords if you want to rank for those keywords in the search engine rankings. Now, your title tag is Office Scapes Memphis, which is only 21 characters long, and a title tag can be about 70 characters. So you're missing out on a huge opportunity to put some keywords in there that'll help you rank in the search engines. I would definitely recommend improving your title tags. Next up here, meta description. You have no meta description on your website. Now, if we come back to your search engine listing, we talked about this being your title. Right below it, this right here is obviously your website address. And then below that, there's a description of your website. Now, this description right here, when one is available, that is pulled from your meta description. The meta description doesn't really help to improve your search engine rankings. However, it has a profound effect on how many people actually click on your search engine listing whenever you're ranked in the results with several other competitors, for example. So having a really compelling meta description can mean the difference between somebody clicking on your website or clicking on your competitor's website. So I definitely say you need to add a meta description to the website and write some really compelling text in there that tells people why they should be clicking on your site. We're going to ignore meta keywords here. Meta keywords is antiquated. Google doesn't really look at that anymore anyway, so not a big deal. Headings. You have no headings on your website. Usually a heading would be some bold text at the top of a text section. So I would have expected that this right here where it says the office scapes difference, I kind of expected that was going to be a heading tag, but apparently it wasn't built that way on your website. Now, second to the title tag, headings are probably the next most important place to have your keywords. So I definitely recommend adding some heading tags to the website and making sure that they include keywords that you want to show up in the search engines for. That'll help you to rank better. Next up here, images. You have 0 images without alt. Let's just hover over an image here real quick. So when we hover over an image, sometimes it'll pop up some text that describes what the image is. Yours isn't doing it because you don't have alt text. Basically, alt text tells you what it's a description of what that image is about. So if a blind person came to your website using a screen reader, and the screen reader would read that image description to them so that they could understand what the picture was. Google is an awful lot like a screen reader. Google doesn't understand pretty pictures. Google understands the text that you use to describe the pretty pictures. So adding image alt text will help you to explain to Google what those pictures are about, and it'll help you out in your search engine results. Text to HTML ratio, 17.05%, they say is not bad, but they suggest adding more text to your website. I agree with them. I think you need more text on the website from a search engine standpoint. I'd probably recommend putting it below some pictures or something so you don't just overwhelm your visitors with text, but I think having more text would help you to get better rankings. Robots.txt, your website doesn't contain one. Basically, a robots file tells Google and the other search engines what content they should be looking at and indexing and what content they shouldn't. I don't think it's a huge deal for your website, but if you're going to fix the other things that I've talked about already, I'd go ahead and add a robots.txt file as well. XML sitemaps, basically a sitemap provides the search engines with a complete list of every page that's on your website, and then tells them when the last time it was updated was. So they can tell really quickly whenever you get a new update to the website and can come back in and pick up on those updates. You don't have one on your website. I definitely think you should add that, especially if you're implementing the other changes that I've talked about. The rest of these look okay. I don't see too much that's a big problem here, except for that you're missing Google Analytics, but I've already talked about that, so I'm not going to beat on that anymore. So, Larry, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, but I don't want to overwhelm you or take up too much of your time. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I hope that this was informative and that I was able to show you some things that you didn't already know. And look, my ultimate goal here is to become a resource to you. I want to help you better understand your website. I want to help you get better results from your website. I want to gain your trust and ultimately earn your business. I want to be your go-to website guy. So if you need some help making the changes that I've recommended here, or if you've got some things that you'd like to change on the website, or if you want to give it a facelift and redesign it, make it mobile friendly or whatever, I would absolutely love to have a chance to talk to you about it. So I'm going to send this video over to you in an email here in just a few minutes. And then I'll follow up with you sometime in a few days, sometime early next week or something like that, to touch base, make sure that you receive the email, see if you have any questions, and see if there's anything I can do to help you out. So thanks a lot for taking the time to watch, and I look forward to talking to you real soon. Bye-bye.